Guess it's re-up time. Had to touch the stash.
Hey, what up though? You know what it is, man. It's your boy Roberto Gale, aka Rob G, Mr. 7 Letterman. It's reupspot.com. On the spot interviews with your host, me, of course. Man, we're here with not only some great friends of mine and people that really helped me get my career going as an artist, but some of the biggest upcoming producers, not only in the state of Texas, but I consider in the whole hip-hop game. Hands down, Beanz Kornbread. Man, y'all say what's up to our audience, you know what I mean?
What's up? What's going down? What it do?
Well, yeah, for those that don't know, Beanz Kornbread are some tremendously talented producers, you know what I mean? We're going to get into their story and, you know, what they're doing right now. They're, of course, representing this wonderful state of Texas in the game of hip-hop, southern rap, all that. So, I mean, first thing I want to ask you guys is, like, first of all, where y'all both from? You know, originally, where do y'all come from? Like, how did y'all meet? And, you know, how did y'all get started in music? You know, not only as a group, but as individuals.
I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas.
Already.
C King to be exact. North side.
I'm from Houston by way of Los Angeles and St. Louis. Been in Houston probably since I was 10. But I've been repping Humble, Tennessee, the North Side. I'm actually the king of Humble. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Humble, Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Already. And like, how did y'all like get started as music? Like individuals, like what did you do as an individual? Were you just like bring up and in some certain kind of like music environment or anything like that?
Yeah, my mom was really into music. You know, she'd always listen to all kinds of music. You know, when I was little.
Yeah.
My uncle played drums, so you know I watched my uncle at church and things like that. And that's kind of how I got started.
And what about you, Bray?
Just growing up, man. I started kind of awkwardly, man. I was reading album credits when I was like 6, 7 years old.
For real?
You know what I'm saying? So I started off reading album credits like when it wasn't cool to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be at the crib with my mom's record player, you know what I'm saying? Reading like Gap Band and Babyface covers and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I started off. Man.
And like when did y'all meet like as a group? Like how did y'all meet each other and actually develop like a friendship and also a business rapport? You know what I mean? Like doing the whole music stuff.
We met in 2004 through mutual friends. Actually, because we're both church musicians, so you know we have mutual friends that we play at church with.
Oh, okay.
And, we met basically at church and started hanging out. We played at the same church for a minute, actually.
Oh, word?
And yeah. What was that, back in
04?
04, yeah.
Right after we met?
Yeah.
He seemed like he was a badass in church, man.
He didn't get fired though.
We got fired.
We got fired?
Yes. Yeah, we got fired right before.
Yes.
Oh, we allowed to ask on camera why we're having it with you know what I mean? We'll keep that story. We'll keep that.
No, we got fired because some other nigga. Can I say nigga? Can I say nigga? We got fired. We got fired because somebody else though. Real talk. It was another guy, and basically he kind of held up the church for more money. He wanted to get more money from the church.
Yeah.
They thought we was all together, and we just started there, so we wasn't really in it.
Yeah.
They was also like y'all all together.
In cahoots, man.
Nah, man. See,
man.
man.
Like that. And got fired the week of Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And look at him now, baby. Look at him now, man. Look at him now. See, that's a story the fans gonna like to hear for sure. And like, I guess when y'all was both coming up, just like as musicians, fans, just whatever you know, you consider yourself in relevance to the whole music game. Like what are some of the things that inspired you guys, or like inspired you personally from the music standpoint? What you grow up listening to? What kind of artist or style of music like inspired you?
Man, I listened to everything from rock, blues, gospel, jazz, R&B, hip hop, classical,
man,
whatever.
And you, Brad, you the same way?
Pretty much the same way, man. I was a real big fan of like West Coast gangster rap. I ain't gonna lie, like anything Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Dogg Pound, DJ Quick, whatever. But I mean, like you said, I listen to everything too, from neo soul. D'Angelo's one of our favorite artists. You know, we like a lot of producers like Jay Dilla, Dr. Dre, Timbaland, Neptunes. We're a real big fan of Static Major, the guy that wrote Lollipop. We're a big fan of him as a songwriter. So we listen to everything. You know
like one question I have for y'all is like, you know, me as an artist and a rapper, like, you know, I had a tendency more to like kind of drift towards like, you know, paying attention to the guys who was rapping. You know, from you know their style, how they carry themselves, the things they rap about. You know, develop more of checking for them, and I was a fan more of rappers to where like I didn't really start checking for producers till maybe later when I started like really getting in the game. You guys, I guess, having like a musical background and stuff like, did you know that you wanted to be a producer, and did y'all follow producers? Would y'all like check for producers and all that at a young age, even when you're just coming up in the game?
I would say more so Bread did, because like he said, he's been reading album credits since he was like 40 years old, since he knew how to read. So he knew who Babyface was, and you know everybody.
Everybody who was actually in the game.
I actually got into it later. Like when I graduated high school, I went to school for audio engineering.
Oh, okay.
I just knew I wanted to do something in the studio. I didn't know exactly what it was, but it didn't come out till later. Like, okay, well, I'm basically taking the best of both things that I'm doing, music and the technical side of it, and basically putting it together.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I said, mine came off, like you said, reading album credits, man, and just studying like Babyface. Like I knew who Teddy Riley was at a young age. Like, you know, Devontae. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the mid '90s. You know what I'm saying? Like just knowing who these producers were. Like even in high school, I was like, man, Timbaland. You know, I wanted to be like Timbaland. Well, this is before Neptunes a little bit. So just really, man, reading credits, man. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing, you know, songwriting, producing, you know, the instrumentation, stuff like that.
That's dope, man. That even at a young age, you know, just to pay attention to that, because young kids have more tendency to pay attention to the guys in the limelight who out there busting rhymes and getting all the attention, and you know, they don't even notice that there's a whole other element in the production side of things to that. You know what I mean? Right. All right, cool, man. So one of the things we also want to ask y'all, you know, after doing some research, Beanz, we know that you're a classically trained percussionist. You know what I mean? And we also know that both of you guys have, like, you know, taught yourselves through your travels in the whole field of production. You know, how to play instruments, how to, you know, even from the audio engineering and stuff like that. You know, that you have to, you know, self-teach yourself, just, you know, going through this stuff. Like, what would y'all say, like, the plus and minuses in being classically trained in the instrument to actually having to learn it on your own?
I would say when you're actually trained to do something, you learn the ins and outs of it, and you learn the proper way how to, you know, actually do it. Yeah. So I would say, you know, my training as a percussionist helps me out into what I do now. Yeah. You know, as far as programming drums for hip hop. Yeah. You know, I take some of the things that I learned from symphonic wind ensemble and I put it in, you know, what we do now. So, it helps.
Yeah, I think being classically trained, I'm not really classically trained as far as a keyboard player, but I did take lessons and, you know, coming up in church. So being able to play keyboards or playing instruments definitely helps you in the production field because you're able to manipulate sound. First of all, you know, a lot of producers may have to hire somebody. So first of all, we keep costs low. So you know, between me and him, you know, we can pretty much play anything, you know, we need to play. So number one is keeping the cost low. Number two, you know, you're able to get your ideas out easier. You know, as opposed to somebody might have to get somebody else to come in and play. You're able to hear something and play it. So it's definitely an advantage. And
you guys as producers growing in the whole field of music as musicians, like that, you know, as you get on a higher level and you're able to play with budgets and stuff, you guys as producers, would you say, well, we'll just hire the person that we need now that maybe we can do it? Or do you approach the music from a sense, well, no, I'd rather learn how to do this and learn maybe how to play a new instrument or learn how to work a new program and stuff like that? I'm
always about, you know, learning different stuff to be able to do it on your own. I get that from my dad because my dad's kind of a jack of all trades, not with music, but he knows how to do plumbing and carpentry. And
I always admire dudes like that, man. I want to be like that. I think I just need to learn how to cook. And
for the record, I'm not that dude. You know, man. But
you approach music that way.
I say that all the time. I'm kind of a hybrid of my mom and my dad because my mom was with the music. My dad's a jack of all trades, so I just kind of figured out a bunch of different things to do with music.
All right.
Actually, I just started learning how to play violin about 2 months ago.
That's dope. So you're going to be hearing the violin.
I'm going to figure it out.
Some violin solos. That actually sounds dope. Shit, man. Another thing we want to ask you guys is, like, when did you two decide, all right, cool, you know, we're doing this? Like, I'm somebody, even from a rapper standpoint, that there does come a point in where this is a hobby, then it becomes something you actually love and got passion for. And then you gotta put your balls in your motherfucking hand and say, I'm gonna do this as a career, you know, and that comes with ups and downs. Like, when did y'all as producers say, we gonna do this, man, we gonna dedicate and focus on it? Because it's time, it's energy, it's your own personal money, it's, you know, sacrifices that a lot of people don't really see. You know, by every person that you see is like, they're on this level now, man, a lot of people don't see what it took to get there. So when did y'all decide that y'all wanted to do that?
Man, we hit the ground running in 2004. You know, when we hooked up and we were like, okay, well, let's link up, let's do this whole Beanz Kornbread thing. And I would say, first of all, we're blessed because of the fact that we are musicians. We're able to make a living, you know, playing music. Like I said, we're at church every week. You know, we're doing rehearsals and things like that. You know, we do other stuff on the side. So that keeps the bills paid. You know, so when things slow down with the production, you know, the lights stay on. So
exactly,
I would say, you know, God
also,
bless us
yeah, it's
with
broad. So y'all are doing actually a lot of stuff involved in music, even outside of just the
yeah,
basic
yeah.
rock
You know, God bless
parts,
us with the talent to be able to play and, you know, play instruments with both keyboard players. So
and I feel like when you are able to like sustain, even whether it's on the side, it just makes you artistically so much better. You know, where it's not, you're not in a position where you gotta like man, I have to do this because I'm dependent on this to, you know, pay my lights and pay my bills and stuff like that. Like for you, was it the same? It was just like, man, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, the same thing. I mean, for me, I actually in high school, like I said before, it was cool. You know, now everybody's making beats.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? When I was in high school, man, I was the only nigga. When I say nigga, I was the only nigga in my whole school.
My boy changed it all, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, people that see me now, they're like, man, keep doing it. It's really encouraging because a lot of people that see me, that they knew me back in high school, they're like, man, dog, you was a dude doing music. You was the only dude doing music. So, for me, in high school, I knew I wanted to be a producer. You know what I'm saying? It just took me a while, actually, like, for us to even meet, like, really because of him, I kept going. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, when I met him, we was like, hey, we was going to do it for real. I was already doing it, but I was kind of like, man, I don't know. I was still a little unsure. But then when I met him, it was like, man, let's go ahead and do it.
All right, cool, let's do it. And, like, you know, and even just to touch on that topic even a little more, like, the basic person out there, whether somebody watching, an artist, a fan, anybody, even somebody who really just listens to music as a consumer, anything, like, we're all pretty familiar with the grind that a rapper has to go through, from the sense of, like, you know, okay, you start recording, you gotta go through the mixtapes, talk to the DJs. Like, no one really knows what it takes for producers to basically go from something that you started to where, I mean, just like, I mean, you guys are like the dominating producers in not only the city, but in the state and in the huge region of the South, really, when you look at it by the numbers and as far as how the come-up's coming. So, like, what would y'all say to like, as advice to producers out there as far as key steps, key elements, and just the way that it goes down for a producer, starting from nothing, trying to get to something?
Study your craft. That's number one. You know, go in, do your homework, learn everything there is to know about the music business. What's the book?
All about the music business.
Donald Passman, baby. I read that book many a time.
It's another one too. Confessions of a Record Producer. That's another good one too.
Yeah. And like, how do you? Is there like certain like a way that you got to grind? Like, who's the people that maybe? Like, how did y'all approach from the aspect of actually getting your tracks out there? Once you knew you was working with something that people were like, did they just come to you on? Like, did it happen just by like?
I mean, how we did it is different. I mean, like I said, as producers, like, you know, everybody has their own story. Some people may meet the A&R. Some people may have an artist that they groom on their own, and the artist blows up. Some people may, you know, be a rapper themselves and make beats. You know, so it's various ways of doing it. I say networking. You know, like for us, one of the first guys we really met was T. Great. You know what I'm saying? He shows in the door. And Rob is, you know, really believing us as producers. We appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And Charles Chavez, whatever.
We go back. This boy just an interview right here. You know, we got track listings together, man.
Really kind of gave us our first break, so to speak, man. And we just took the opportunity and ran with it, man. Be prepared too. You know what I'm saying? When your time comes, you need to have enough material. If you songwrite, producing, whatever, have enough material. And try to be diversified too in your sounds. So you don't have just one sound, and then so when your numbers call, you're prepared.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I want to say personally is, like, I was actually there to see them boys do that. Just like, you know, me as an artist, I got signed, I had some records and stuff, and then, you know, these guys came in, and I remember them coming in fresh, and they had like something. They had the talent, they had the gift to where, you know, artists like at that time, you know, I had been around, you know, I've worked with a lot of producers across the country, you know, big names and stuff like that, and you would just hear these guys sound and be like, man, yeah, they got something, you know, and to be able to see y'all go from that to, you know, they gave me one of my big radio, one of my biggest features today, for the Hood with Rick Ross and all that, you know, and to see y'all just go from there and then go to where you doing the Dallas single, and then you backdoor the Paul single, and then, you know, the things you're doing with Zero, and just like the buzz building up to, y'all recently won an award, right?
We won Producers of the Year for Eastern Press.
You know what I'm saying, well deserved, man. So I mean, I just want to give y'all props and let y'all know that me as a fan and a homie and somebody that's been through the trenches with y'all boys, man, it's really glad, you know, I'm happy to see that, man. Big shout out to Beanz Kornbread producers, y'all pay attention, man. I bet, man. So now we're gonna get into asking y'all some personal questions, you know what I'm saying, just your opinions about the music game and how it's going. Like, you know, the whole Houston thing. Like, you know, anybody that's from the city of Houston, you proud. You know what I mean? You carry this H-Town shit on your back and in your veins, whether it's like, you know, you're an everyday person or you know, no matter what you do. You know, how do you feel right now being involved in the music and knowing that you guys were a big part of it and just seeing what's going down and being in the mix? How do you feel about like the Houston rap scene and what's going on down here right now?
Man, it's just a blessing to be a part of something that has so much, you know, history and there's a rich culture behind Houston, man. Just the whole rap scene,
absolutely.
The hip hop scene that started with, you know, the pioneers like DJ Screw, you know, Fat Pat, Big Hog, all those cats, man, that came before us. So it's just something special to be a part of.
Exactly, And like another thing to branch off that, how do you feel, you know, you, Brett, when you look at the whole game in general now? You know, because like one things that you know I notice as an artist is that a lot of people are more open to different type things now. Like, you know, you got like you got artists not only doing their street rap, but they're also doing their rock stuff, their pop stuff, their stuff for the women's stuff for the club. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel the game is now, and how do you feel that it like actually works in you guys' favor?
I say as far as artistry, I say to each his own. I mean, to me, if you're doing it, it works. I mean, whatever you're doing, it works for you. I mean, that's all great. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
I mean, plus, you know, people. Like regular people do different things, you know. You may be in a party mood one day, you may be in a bad mood one day, or whatever. So as far as it helps us, I mean, it's great because we're musicians. So we can do a rock song. I mean, if you check it out now, we have a song called "Respect the Bull" by Pink Gator, and we've been getting a lot of love on like 610 radio. Actually on Channel 11, we were on Channel 11 last week. We'll be on Channel 11 this week. That's a rock. It's a rock song. It's all live instruments. It's live guitars played all by us. So, and then we're able to do the zero stuff. We're able to do the power stuff. So for us, it's great. We love it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, it's awesome.
All right, that's what's up, man, for sure. Now we're gonna ask y'all too. What's some random facts about y'all? Y'all each gotta say something. Just something that may not necessarily have to do with music, anything. Just
we
some
like
random facts,
food.
people.
If it follows on Twitter, everybody's like, all you gotta do is eat. So we got a new campaign for 2012. It's called Hungry Life, and it's all about being hungry. Not just food. You know what I'm saying? But it's about being hungry for life. You know, feeding your family, you know, whatever. Anything positive is hungry life. You know what I'm saying? So that's a random fact. I like shoes. You know what I'm saying? I love shoes. I love shoes. So I gotta stay with the fresh kicks on or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Random fact about Beanz is he plays like every instrument. He plays like 30 instruments. I call him Baby Prince. You know what I'm saying? Baby Prince, so,
Man, you play a bunch of instruments like that?
Yeah.
Which thing's the weirdest thing he played?
The weirdest thing?
The violin or no?
Yeah, probably violin. Just to be like, you know, his age would be one day like, hey, I'm going to play violin. Like, okay, that's what's up. So, yeah, probably violin, man.
And he figured it out too, huh?
He figured it out too.
Yeah. Like, as far as producers now and with the credits that you guys have, like, what were some of the moments or some of the people that you work with that actually made you excited? What were some of the moments actually in you guys' career, whether it be like getting to work with a certain artist, or even being able to sit down with a certain producer, or maybe hearing your stuff on the radio? What are some of the moments that really, individually now, for each of y'all to answer that you know impacted you the most?
Man, going back, man, before the Hood record we did.
Man, hold on. Pause, man. That's real. Yeah.
That was, you know, that was a big moment for us too, man. You know, just hearing that song.
Actually, Road to Success.
Road to Success.
Because they played it on the radio.
Which is a mixtape underground classic, man. I got a crazy story to butt in and to give y'all a story too. I had a warrant in motherfucking over there like towards Huntsville and shit. You know, driving to Dallas one day for show. Anyway, I had a warrant. I had to go to court, and I'm just sitting in a random courtroom. I'm just sitting there, and there's like, you know, some dudes in front of me. I'm tired. It's like 7 in the morning. And these guys, like homies, I guess, from right away, they just sitting in the front, right hand to the man. I'm just sitting there kind of eavesdropping, and they like, man, you heard that new, some mixtape, Sipping Drink 30-something, da-da-da? The boy said, man, that Road to Success go hard, man. That boy, Rob G, and I was like, just sitting there like, they ain't even know, you know what I mean? Because there's times when people know who you are, they don't know your face and shit. And I'm just sitting there, and I was like, man, I thought about y'all, man. I was like, man, if they probably wouldn't even believe me if I told them. But that's a true story, man. Random people say your shit jamming and giving the record the props. Yeah. So like what are some other moments or some artists that you really
I would say pretty much probably Rock Your Body, you know, for the simple fact that being from Houston and being producers where we actually wrote that song. So actually being able to write and produce a song, and you know, that was a song that we actually took from a baby to seeing it on the radio. You know, we actually wrote the song, came up with the concept, you know, arranged the vocals and everything to see it go from demo status to being on the radio. You know, shout out to T Ferris because he was the one that really believed in that song. When we thought it was just a demo, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, no, it's a hit. And shouts out to Dallas too, you know what I'm saying, because he believed in the song to perform it or whatever. But actually seeing that song from just going to a demo to on the radio and seeing the reaction of people, of young people, of girls, of dudes, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that was definitely big, and probably these days too for Zero, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those are actually two of my personal favorites that I've heard from you guys and stuff like that. Like that Rock Your Body was crazy, but you know, for it being a more geared towards a female type record. All the dudes was feeling that joint, man. Like he dudes, and I was like, man, these boys done did something, man. They did something with this one, you know. And when you look at music from a broad stance, you know, and you're like, you know, you gotta appreciate guys who could do that, you know, who can play on on all sides of the fence and on all different levels. Well, I mean, what do y'all got coming up now, man? Like what's in the future of Beanz and Kornbread?
Man, just really 2011, like I said, it's the Hungry Life campaign. 2012. I'm sorry. I'm still stuck in last year.
You know
2012 Hungry Life campaign. We going with that. Just getting into more music, man. Trying new sounds. We're always trying to progress and, you know, trying to go to the next thing. So that's really what we're working on. Like I said, right now we in rock mode. We could be somewhere else next month, next week, or whatever. But we'll see.
But what you definitely know is y'all gonna be going hard and impacting the city. You know, everybody. Big shout out to these guys, man. You know, when you got homegrown dudes that's out here representing where we all represent, where we all from, and they're actually successful in doing that thing, man, you gotta tip your hat to them and try to learn something and pay attention, man. You guys got any shout outs?
Oh man, shout out to T Ferris, our manager. Shout out to Pink Gator. Shout out to my mama, my daddy. Just everybody, my church family.
Amen, brother.
Hey, shout out Kornbread.
Man, shout out everybody, man. Shout out my city, Humble, Texas, man, because I'm the king. You know
king, baby.
No, man, shout out everybody, man. Everybody that supported us, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether you don't necessarily know what we look like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You may know the name Beanz Kornbread. So, man, just shout out to everybody that supports us.
And last but not least, shout out to God. We ain't know without him. We can't do what we do without him, so.
Already.
And that's absolutely real, man. This is On the Spot interview with just truly, man. Your boy Rob G, Beanz Kornbread. Where can they find y'all, man, online?
Twitter, at Beanz Kornbread, BEANZ, the letter N, Kornbread with a K. Facebook, same way. YouTube, everything is spelled Beanz Kornbread the same way.
Google the name and you're going to find it, man. ReUpSpot.com. Big shout out to our affiliates and everybody down with us. Big shout out Compound Films, Beanz Studios. ReUpSpot.com, man. Go check it out. Be a part of it, man. On the Spot interviews. Rob G, holla. Yeah.